Hey guys, welcome to our review of House of the Dragon Episode 6, Smallfolk. This is Season 2. And we have, I would say, another slower-paced episode.
This is a lot slower.
A lot slower, yeah. That is, it's not necessarily uneventful. It does have several important bits here and there. And it's more character development. But I would say it is another slower burn. And with 2 episodes to go, I'm a little, a little surprised at the pacing here. And I think coming to fruition is my guess and prediction that they're really only going to do like 2 major things each season. So sometimes I feel like we are needlessly, stretching some of these things out, or just padding in order to get multiple seasons so that HBO can do multiple seasons. I feel like the pacing could be improved a little bit. However, I'm perfectly okay if you disagree with me and you say it's all character development, you love spending additional time with the characters, because it is of high quality, and I am appreciating it. But I think in between the moments of the Dance of the Dragons in this series, there's a little less to chew on than there would be in previous Game of Thrones series. So that's kind of how I'm feeling on it. I enjoyed it. It is a pivotal episode that is important to the greater whole of the story, especially with what happens with regards to the small folk of the kingdom is becoming restless under Aemon's rule. And Rhaenyra is, definitely stoking those flames.
Not her.
Meanwhile, her faction. With
he still ain't doing shit besides making out.
Miss Saria. Okay, we're going to get there. It sounds like the boys kind of agree, maybe even harder. Miss Saria is helping out there. And then the first bits of the Seeds of the Dragon, where we try to use other dragon riders to mount these dragons that are riderless currently. And that doesn't go so well. So, overall, a good episode, an interesting episode, but I am growing a tiny bit frustrated with the pace of the season with 2 episodes left. What did you guys think?
I'm feeling it's average right now. Yes, it's shot great. The actors are doing the best they can, but a lot of the stuff is like what we've been harping on the first couple of episodes. Like we're spinning our wheels, and like last episode, we had some great moments with the kids. They had great speech and stuff like that. This one, not so much.
Right.
These characters, I don't really care about them as much as like Game of Thrones and stuff like that. Like this one, like Aemon's doing some stuff. Damien is still with a witch and is like still getting those crazy messages. Yes.
And, more Damon stuff. I can hear other televisions and people rolling their eyes. I'm enjoying it, but it's like we need to wrap it up.
Like the end, like there's some cool cool scenes at the end, but the beginning, the middle, it's like, come on, we gotta get something going. Yes, the town folks have been in uproar. All they need is like the fuel or the match, which happens at the end. That's going on, and we did see that foreshadow, I guess. With the Dragon Rider, because he did see like last or 2 episodes ago. Yeah, he sees him in the distance, and then we get a payoff with that.
He's kind of harassing Alan here.
Yeah, we didn't get my scene that I wanted yet. The line of people trying to ride the dragons.
I'm getting a feeling like we're not going to get anywhere near that.
Yeah, maybe
that's how we drag out the seeds of the dragon
it
to
out
the
too
end
much,
of the season.
And I feel like the viewership's kind of dipping, which I think it kind of is, right?
No, actually, I have good news with regards to that. Viewership is increasing. Of course, the Nelson numbers are a month late, so this is several episodes ago. Whereas, so it's now hit the highest viewership number to date for the House of the Dragon series, which is surprising to me. But that might be episode 4. Yeah, that might be that big ass, badass battle. So, because these numbers are a little behind.
But this one is a little bit slower. Rhaenyra is slapping people and say, hey, remember, I still do stuff. I was like, do you, though?
do you? Joe, you won't get slapped by Rhaenyra? You going to get slapped. would talk like that.
Yeah, but I'm waiting for something else to happen.
Either
and
she's going to make out with you or she's going to slap you.
Yeah.
So
you have to tell her a horrible story before she gets all hot and bothered.
Yeah, that was a little gross. I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, so they're not going to do something right after that, are they? Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah besides the main characters, the other characters you don't really care about as much as, Game of Thrones.
All right.
Yeah, there's a few scenes here that I actually really liked, but I think that they're too few and far between, right? Like I really liked seeing Laris and it's like
and why does he do that? Because
and it sets up stuff that's coming later, and I was like, oh, cool, we're actually building towards.
Everything's later.
No, he does it because he's losing favor with Aemon.
Yeah.
Aemon, yes, but I mean, like there's stuff that happens later that Laris becomes really important. And it's like it's nice to see them do some of that stuff, but then again, the problems you guys talked about. It's like I like the Luigi's Mansion Harrenhal stuff, and I just think that maybe we've done it 2 times too many now because I don't feel it's developing. I already know these things about Daemon because we've done it 4 times, and it's not evolving. It's the same thing, and it's dealing with his regrets and all these other things. So it's just like I think that we're spinning our wheels, and we've been spinning our wheels, and it's I don't know. I think I've said everything I need, like I can possibly say the last 3 times because I've been growing tired of it the last 3 times. Fortunately, I think we're probably towards the end.
I think we're towards the end with Daemon's stuff.
Yeah, with Tully dying, I think we can finally move forward. And then they're making some changes that I don't love, right? Like I don't.
Thank you for pointing that out. This episode has several changes from the book. And planting seeds for way different directions.
Yeah, and so it's like I don't love some of those things. Now, it could, we don't know. The dragon could be at the Vale. It could be, stealing sheep, and it could be fed by someone else off screen that they'll introduce last minute, and that'll be the 4th dragon. It's probably not going to be because I think we've merged everything in there. And this whole thing with sea smoke, it's like I don't love this as like a way to, the Dragon Rider being claimed versus, claiming the dragon type thing.
These are all things I wanted to agree.
Yeah, I get what they were going for. I just don't like it. It's like, look, they have control over everything. They get to write it the way that they want, but it's like, that doesn't feel good. And I just feel that if you're changing stuff, I think you want to make it better.
Yeah, you're taking away from Team Black's creativity.
Yeah, and so I think that they continue to do that by changing which characters are doing which thing, and then they're constantly looking around like, oh, that person hasn't done something today. Oh, that person hasn't done something this episode, and they're trying to showcase everyone.
Yeah.
And that's not how war works. Like, I mean, there's times where people are just sitting doing nothing because their time hasn't come yet. And it's like, I don't need every character to have something to do every single time. Sometimes it's just one thing.
Moments quicker, and there would be, say, 3 big moments in a season or 4 big moments in a season, whereas it feels like they're going for 2 big moments each season, and they're going to stretch it to 4 to 5 seasons. So Alex is referring to a character named Nettles, and it does seem like they're planting seeds that maybe Nettles is going to be combined with, what's this daughter's name? Rhaena, who hasn't claimed a dragon. So Nettles is rides sheep stealer, a dragon that's wild, loves sheep obviously, and uses Nettles, this character, female dragon rider, uses food to slowly kind of build trust and then eventually mount the dragon and earn its trust. And then Nettles has a huge connection to Daemon, and in fact, Daemon's motivation to eventually, do this climactic battle towards the end is having to do with Nettles and post that battle and stuff. So it's like they seem like they might be going a different direction. We are teasing at it, but we'll see, like Alex said, if just this random character gets introduced in the second to last episode or last episode. What? I haven't been able to find any casting information to see that Nettles has been cast, so that's coming up.
Next episode? It's gotta be, right?
Also changing the idea that it's like, okay, we're going to get all these. Oh my gosh, Sea Smoke is being ridden by a rider we don't know. We can't see him. It's too high. And she's like, oh my gosh. So she gets on her dragon and she's going to go meet. And you even see in the next episode breakdown and she's like, who are you? What are you doing? This and that. So it's like, okay. And then finally, Another thing is he's making these changes that feel just random for HBO's sake. Like towards the end, we get a little sexy time with Rhaenyra and
You're like,
the
Rhaenyra,
white.
do something. No, don't do that.
Right,
Don't do that.
Like, do something. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Does HBO feel like, well, we're missing some of the sex appeal. We're missing some of that sexual tension. And so we need that, and let's have
I feel like for this
these
show,
two.
it doesn't
feels,
need it, though.
You're right. It doesn't need it. We're talking about war and shit like that. Massaria comforting Rhaenyra feels random to me and just put in because so far we're lacking in a bit of sexuality. But yeah, that didn't need it. Doesn't feel impactful. Doesn't further the storyline and deepen it in an interesting way. And so we have, a bit of half and half of things going on here, some spinning of the wheels, but then great moments like Alicent and Helena being attacked by the townsfolk, nearly dying because they get very close. In fact, she gets cut and stuff. So
worse, they throw fish at her face.
Oh, that was gross. And I know
worse.
Joe would hate that. But we eat fish all the time. Joe does. So yeah, and then the whole power plays from the Lannisters. Of course, the Lannisters have to show up and act like the fucking prima donna dicks they are. It's like trying to summon the king to them so that they can go together and beat people up. It's like, Aemon's like, you don't summon me, you go do it. And maybe I'll join you.
It doesn't end well for them, so it's okay.
Yeah, so lots of up and downs here. Let's go to final verdicts on episode 6, Smallfolk.
There were some good scenes, but it was towards the end, and again, we're just kind of retreading some old stories. Even Damien's getting tired of the ghost, so he's taking off. He's like, no, just stay here. Just give us 3 more days, and then stuff will happen.
Like, no.
I'm like, what do you mean? Okay.
3 more days? God damn it. You're doing this on purpose. She is. I feel like she's fucking with him on purpose. Giving him all these bad dreams.
Yeah.
Trying to teach him a lesson. And this better go somewhere.
Yeah, because he's like, who's doing this to me? I was like, maybe it's the
I'm
witch.
feeling like maybe this witch character is, if Nettles is replaced by Rhaena, then Damon's potential storyline with Nettles could be combined with the witch. I guess. I don't know.
It could. Absolutely.
Yeah. 6 for me. I'm gonna give it 6. A little bit above average.
Okay.
But,
I thought you liked.
I was thinking maybe a 5. But I did like some moments, but it needs to hurry up and do something again next season.
If it was a 5, that would be your lowest rating for the season so far.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna give it a 5. I think that there's some really bright moments. They're making some changes that, as of right now, I don't necessarily understand. I mean, there's not a lot of source material here, and I know that they're stretching out as far as they possibly can per HBO. But I also feel like we're glossing over some potentially cool stuff. Sending out writs that if you are of public tryouts for dragon riding would be a really fucking cool thing to see.
Yes.
Versus a dragon just flying down and just or just give the man the ability where he sees the dragon and he's like, you know what, I am tired of living in the shadow of my father who won't accept me. I'd rather burn in dragon fire than do this, and have him walk up to that dragon and be like, I'm claiming you, bitch, versus him being scared on a rock and they're like, the dragon won't accept you if you're scared. He shit his pants and the dragon's like, hop on. So I mean, they're just doing stuff that I don't love. Yeah. And the other thing that compounds this, and we talk about this all the time with these streaming shows, is if this was episode 6 of 14, a lot of it's forgiven because we didn't wait 2 years for 8 episodes, and it feels like when the last 2 episodes we're not really advancing. Some things are kind of happening, that it just doesn't feel great. The dialogue isn't as strong as I remember. Have you gone back and watched any of Game of Thrones seasons 1 through 4?
No,
that dialogue
not
is strong as shit. It is great, and then you watch some of this stuff and you're like, whoa. This ain't it.
And some of the
so far,
too.
House of the Dragon has not been as good as Game of Thrones, minus the dragons and battles, which is what this show's strengths are. And so it's like, let's play more to those strengths rather than that.
Yeah, it costs too much money, I think. So yeah, five from me.
I am gonna go with a 6 out of 10. I hope they're not cutting out Nettles because it was an interesting character. I think some of the fans would be upset because it's like all these Targaryens in the bloodline. There are other ways to claim a dragon. God damn it, in the book, and just makes that character unique because she doesn't have anything to do with any of these other people. So she's like a wild card and stuff. And now if they give it to Rhaena, then that's just another Targaryen kind of thing. And yeah. Apparently, there's a line in season 1 when Laena tells her daughter there are more than one way to claim a dragon. So that's why I mentioned that. So it seems like they are setting that up, and she's going to maybe slowly feed the dragon. But it's like, do we have time for that? We got 2 episodes left. And House of the Dragon is like, yes, we have time for that because I'm stretching it out because I'm not
find
going
out
to
next
do.
Season.
There's 2 things that could possibly leading towards. There's a Daemon event that could be coming up. Or we could do the blockade, as the final, the gullet, the blockade. Yeah. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be pissed if we don't at least get to the gullet. If we don't at least get to this blockade battle. I don't know how we're gonna do it because we got like basically 1 episode left before we have to do the second episode has to be the entire battle.
They're gonna leave it till next time.
Oh man! If they
start
leave
charging,
that, and it's
see
more,
next year.
it feels like more
2 years.
truncated, and it feels like where they're pulling it is the culmination of all the dragons, the seeds of the dragon, and now we have multiple. Right, we have Ulf and Hugh and Alan, or is it Adam? It's been a long time. It's Adam that has the thing. I think I said Alan last time. Alan was the ship one. He finally gets promoted. He's like shaving his hair because it's white and he doesn't want. He's like trying to reject his lineage, but he'll eventually embrace it. And then maybe the surprise of Nettles at the end. I'm feeling like that's where we're gonna be at, and it's a triumphant moment because if you look at pure show and writer's room, they're like, do we really want to put Queen Rhaenyra through another, tragedy to end the season where that just happened at the end of season 1? They might feel like, oh, we're just repeating the end of season 1, and so they're going to avoid this tragedy that is impending and then save it for, I don't know, the middle of season 2. That's what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna. And so, hey, man, as much as I love the show, and as much as we can all agree that the writing is superior, the cinematography is great, the acting is great, then shit that like Disney is putting out and Amazon and stuff like that, we can still recognize when something is slightly sagging as compared to stuff
they're
we've seen
stretching
before.
this fucking thing.
You're giving us 8 episodes,
and it's
hard to have filler this much filler when there's only 8 episodes.
It was good seeing Viserys again, Daemon's brother, king, because he was so good in season 1, and it's kind of missing that dynamic, and unfortunately, Daemon himself is being kind of underutilized in this season, and that kind of drags it down a little bit for me because in the books he should be taking castle after castle. He's a little more active role instead of just kind of fucking around, being manipulated by this witch for 5 episodes. Like, bro, okay, that's the last one. Damn it. Okay, so I was thinking I could be 5, 6 as well on the Game of Thrones scale, which is 8, 9 in other shows. So I will end on a 6, 6 out of 10, and there are some great moments here, but some impending changes that I believe I'm not gonna like as much as that. And then I also believe that the season is probably gonna end on somewhat of a disappointment for. Book readers or people that want a ton of battles.
You said there's 4 seasons or 5 seasons?
They said they want to do 4, but at this point, I'm already thinking that they're gonna maybe drag it out to 5. But here's the way I look at it. There's like how Dance of the Dragons has like this bit is like 2/3, and then that's a natural cutoff, and you don't even really want that last third because it's so like detached from all the characters. By the end, shit goes down and there's not much left, right? And so then we're just kind of playing with ashes is how I describe it towards the end. Because remember, it's just a historical record, the book, so they don't care that there's characters you've invested in and they're no longer on the show, so who gives a fuck? So I honestly think that HBO is not even going to finish the whole fucking Dance of Dragons with the Sons of the Suns and then who's ruling by the end, blah, blah, blah. It's just going to cover that initial bit with these characters that the audience can invest themselves in.
You don't think the Starks show up? Because I want to see that.
No, the Starks do show. The Starks definitely show up. But then they stick around and they do some things, and during that era is probably where it drops off, and they're not even going to bother with that. Anything with regents and pretender kings and this and that, I don't know. And then, what is it, Aemon or Aegon or the depressed thing?
Aegon. Yeah.
It's Aegon
the third.
Yeah, we're talking about Aegon the Third.
The younger.
Yeah, the younger. I don't know if they're really going to get into a lot of that. Because as we see, he's a tiny little boy. I guess next season. I mean, we do have multiple seasons, so then they can age him up. And eventually we'll have to see how much of this story they want to tell versus how much they think their audience can handle. So that's basically it. A little bit of our predictions on how it will end in episode 6. 2 episodes left. So thank y'all so much. We're going to do a little bit of a breakdown on individual scenes. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys. Welcome to the breakdown. So we get, like I said, a lot of deviation from the books is starting to happen. Lannister army shows up, tries to summon Aemon. Aemon gets pissed. And then what happens in this council scene?
He dismisses his mom. She's like, "Hey,
Yes.
you don't work here anymore." And she's like, "Well, I've been." And it's like, "Well, you're not now, so get out."
Very Office Space. What is it that you do here again?
Yeah. And so I'm a tempering voice, and it's like, I got plenty of those.
Yeah.
Get out.
Another major thing is he drops the line, "Let's make an alliance with the Triarchy and end this blockade." So it's smart. But everybody's advising him, hey, they don't really like us. They're more like mercenaries, and you can't really trust them. And so this is foreshadowing that's going to end poorly. It might be, initially advantageous to end the blockade, but then may end poorly there. And then finally, he's fucking with Strong. What is it? Laris. He's fucking with him. He's like, hey, it's like, well, sire, I would be more than.
No, you idiot. Go summon Otto.
Oof.
I miss Otto so much. Like, the show needs more of these, big characters like Otto.
So it's like, go get Otto, please.
Yeah.
And Otto, for some reason, is not answering. He's not answering the Ravens for Allison. I don't know what's going on there. I don't remember. Maybe he's fighting his own bits with other houses. I don't know. Or he's doing an Otto thing where he's going to show up right when you desperately need him so that, he could take some glory and stuff back. Back at the Black Council, Joe, what happens here? The Black Council assembles.
They assemble. They're trying to find out. She has a plan now.
Mm-hmm,
we have
finally.
Dragons.
Yes.
Let us see who we could get. What's his name? Sir or something?
Stefan Darkland.
Yes. He's like, hey, you have some lineage going back, and we want to see if this is what you want to do. He's like, yes, it would be an honor. Interesting scene with the dragon.
Try to tame the dragon. A little bit of a song. I don't know if I like this. It was cool. Okay, it's cool. Anytime you have dragon CGI flames, it's cool. But I would have liked something a little more brutal, like something maybe closer to the book or something else. Like
I don't.
Well, yeah. I don't remember. I don't remember, but I think one of her council members gets its arm ripped off. So it may be this where he mounts the dragon. It almost lets him. Kind of like the show where he's like kind of playing with him. He's like, you want? No. But he lets him mount it, and then you think everything's all right, and then it just whips back and fucking rips his arm off. And he's like, it's like, that's brutal. Because there's more fear involved of, okay, I'm sitting on here, and we're ready to do it. And then at any moment, this thing can whip into your face and just tear you to pieces. And that way more effective than just yet another Dracarys, thing that the House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones always done. I'm tired of it. Show the dragons doing different things. So Granted, it's a cool scene. But
yeah, I was gonna say I still like the
book read,
scene because the guy, well, one of the bystanders, he's like on fire, just slits his own throat. He's like, "This is fucking painful. I'm going down."
That guy knows
And then
what's up.
Sir's like, "Help me!" He's just like fucking crawling. He's like, "Oh, somebody put him out of his misery."
So it's definitely satisfying for some, but me, I'd prefer something a little more brutal, something a little bit more focused on Stefan Darkland. I don't give a fuck about these handlers with the. Do you notice they all have fucking sticks? Like, what
I
are you
was
gonna
about
do?
to say, it's like, what are you doing with the stick?
What are you
If
doing with
that
the
makes
stick?
you feel better, okay.
Put that stick down. Okay.
You know the thing's flammable. You're flammable. There's nothing, but whatever. And then she's like moping about it. It's like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. It's like we have to figure this
You
out.
have to do something.
It's like, well, I can't. I feel so bad. Now I'm gonna go weep.
She makes a really great case for herself to not be worthy of the crown by constantly making bad decisions or moping around being shitty.
Damon is haunted by his brother yet again. And tell him, hey, you told me he's king for a day and all this bullshit. And he's like, get out of here. And then he can't open the door. And then when he opens the door, he wakes up in Strong's arms. He's paranoid. He's like, what are you doing to me? It's like, this. Are you dumbass? Like, you don't realize who's doing all this to you?
Right?
She's a witch.
She gave you that crazy juice, which she made with her hands. Drink this.
Drinking. Damn, that juice lasts a long fucking time. Christ. It's a little annoying. It's interesting because we get good actors doing acting things. But, like we said, this is the last one. Okay? We keep doing this, then it's like... Yeah, so he tries to leave. He's like, fuck this. I'm done with this. And then the witch is
Tired of these ghosts.
conveniently right there. She's talking to him, mocking him and pointing him out. And he's like, finally, towards the end, he asks for help. And
So you stay here for 3 days.
multiple visions. One of the visions, he finally gives comfort to his brother. Okay, his brother is fucking distraught, devastated at the death of his love, and then he's there for his brother. And I think that is the culmination of whatever the witch wanted to do, to humble him and shape him. And
The vision quest is complete.
yeah. And so she
Says
says,
the peyote.
she gets an owl, and she goes, in 3
Follow the
days, the
wolf.
winds will change. Turns out she was the one keeping alive the old man, probably fucking with him so that she can mess around with him, give him more time to do what she wants to do and plan her objectives and shit, and make him subservient to her, I don't know, or grateful to her, owing a favor. Mm-hmm. And then finally she lets him die. So now, hopefully, next episode, Damon springs into action and he can get to Riverlands and solve that, because it's a mess right now. Yeah.
Well, I guess he's going to have to solve that little quarrel that they got going on, right? With the new, was it Tully?
That's what I said.
The kid? Okay.
Mm-hmm. In the tavern, there's a bunch of people. They're fucking tired of fish. Joe would have left the castle by throwing himself off one of the walls if all you have to eat are fish.
Go to start eating people.
Mm-hmm. Joe, there's some really
Fish,
good fish, man.
people.
I want... What got fed to Joe one time?
Terrible
Eat
fish.
Eat fish.
Yeah, but I mean, you haven't had people.
Damn it,
like, you
man.
got to try his side, too.
True.
If he's going to...
You haven't had people neither. Right? 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 People are restless and riled up by stories of the crown's indulgence, and they're eating all this meat and sheep and this and that, and the dragons are eating better than us, and so, you know, all
They're
the
having
spies
another
are
festival.
planning, yeah, getting them riled up, and yeah, and that's what Mysteria's counseling her, and she's saying this: let's send them food as gifts and just fuck with them more. It works because the people are like, wait, we're there.
Fucking
Even though
starving you.
she's the one blocking them, blockading them, but it doesn't matter. The folk are simple people. They just see the food. It was from her. So fuck all these people. They attack the church area, which the guards are like, we got to go now. And then they try to whip their swords out. She's like, sheathe your swords. I'm like, bitch, you see, I'm not sheathing my sword. These people could kill me. And one guy gets trampled or attacked and killed, and they barely make it out. So that is effective. And
well, with the other queen, I was trying to figure out if because she's the prophet one, right? She says things. She's like, well, this cricket went quiet.
Yeah,
I was like,
Helena.
"Boy, is that supposed to mean something?"
I don't know.
Now
You're
I'm
trying
just
to
like
look at
trying to
every,
find. Yeah.
every
Yeah.
omen.
We haven't heard from Otto. He won't respond. This
Yeah,
cricket's
it's
gone
like
quiet.
something's happening.
Stop it.
She's always saying something that's right.
So we
There's
also get some
rats.
scenes of Aegon finally recovering and Aemon visiting him and shut the fuck up. You know, did you
I like this scene.
you went and you're gonna
Give him the ball.
put the ball on his skin. Ah, you
Nothing. I
motherfucker.
remember nothing.
Nothing.
That's right.
Why you like this scene? What's wrong with you, Joe? Eating people, torturing? What the hell goes
It's
on
a
in your
show,
house?
Game
man.
of Thrones.
It's
What's
the
wrong with
show.
you? No, that's Joe. Mine goes doors.
I'm eating popcorn.
Yeah, do it again.
So then in the Vale, Rhaena is told, hey, Prince Reggio and Pentos will now take the sons. Good news. And then she's like, motherfucker, you were lying to me. There's a dragon around here. And she's like, yeah, but it's wild. And so I don't know what dragon this is. Maybe cannibal.
Sheep stealing.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, if they're going to go tie in that, then it could be sheep stealing. I just want to see cannibal, damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to see cannibal?
Hell yeah.
God damn it, Joe. So then, yeah.
Well, so there was also a couple things in this scene.
Go ahead.
You see the little babby, Aegon the
Yeah.
younger,
Yeah.
and you see his tiny little
dragon.
and his
Yes.
tiny little dragon. Now, the size of the dragon is very important. It'll determine how fast the story can go, unless they're wildly changing that shit too.
Right.
And so that
Because eventually he gets on the dragon and he's contributing.
Yeah, well, like to just as an escape method, and so like that thing is not big enough to carry him yet. So it's like that leads me to believe
that's it.
that I don't
That's
think we're
it.
getting what
we're
you
not
want.
getting the blockade
because it's
battle
not.
of the gullet or whatever it's called.
It's- yeah.
It is what I thought. The seeds triumphant, multiple dragons flying together, new reinforcements basically for Team Black.
There is the opportunity they go completely out of order and we get
And maybe the Daemon thing. I don't want to spoil.
fish feed would be really cool. That would be the big set piece. I think if we can't do the gullet, because I don't think we
Fine.
can, is we do fish feed, which I actually think would be fucking sweet.
That actually works with dragon with what they're setting up. Okay, fish feed potentially. We think we
the
solved it.
biggest, bloodiest battle in
I'm
the whole
hoping.
storyline.
That better be.
Yeah, but now I don't think they got the money for that. It feels like they ran out of
It's-
the money,
it's
and it's just
dragonless.
going to end on, just the armies fighting.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Hopefully they've been saving all their pennies with these nonsense filler episodes that we can get a big bang at the end.
Okay. So yeah. So we get a scene of Allison who finally mentions her other son, and I was wondering what's going on here. So he's a ward and been hanging out at Hightower. He has a dragon, by the way, and it seems like he is a good person and kind and
Plays
and
Luke.
He's a hero. The
He's a
women
Luthor.
love him, and this is planting the seeds for her. He's going to come into play later.
He's daring. Even.
Yeah. So, and then she doesn't say goodbye to Cole. She's good. He's like,
I think she wanted to.
she wanted
She's like,
to, but
she's like, look at me. Look at see me.
okay. Fine. Let's see. We get Sea Smoke attacking. Adam is kind of like harassing him, but it's like he's choosing him. So that's interesting, I guess. And you know what sucks is I bet you we're not gonna see it. So it happened off screen. The taming. Because then the next scene he's just gonna show up and he's already on the dragon.
He's been flying around in the episode. They're like, he's been flying around for days now. He's having a grand old
That
time.
sucks. You're depriving these cool moments that they could do from us. Like,
We had to show another scene of Damon losing his mind.
no, we had to show a scene of two chicks making out. Because, you guys like that. I'm like, not really. I mean,
When appropriate.
when appropriate, I suppose.
Well, it reminded me so much
Anybody get naked? Okay, well, fine.
that ham-fisted blowjob scene that we got, where it's just like,
Don't remind me of that fucking weird ass.
well, it's like that's what I mean. It's
goddamn
like it feels so forced in, and it's like,
It is.
and it's like it's kind of inappropriate. It's like, wait a minute, this isn't as
Yeah.
it doesn't fit.
You're not doing it right.
It's weird,
You're not doing it right.
and I don't know.
Yep.
You didn't like it?
That remind you of anything? House of the Dragon.
Nope.
Okay, so slightly uneventful, but setting again the seeds, and it feels to me starting to feel like the slower pace is kind of intentional from HBO, kind of screwing things and be like, here's what we want for this, and then we're going to do this. And ultimately, it might benefit future episodes where we get more. We get those battles expanded. We get those moments expanded in future seasons. Okay, so there's something to be said for that. However, it doesn't make what's here any less diminished or any less, spinning its wheels. It's still there. So that's kind of how we're feeling on that. And hopefully these final 2 episodes really ramp it up. I'm expecting yet another episode in episode 7, just like this one, where it's like mostly uneventful. A few things happen here and there. And then that motherfucking final episode, it's better be something cool. Fish feed, it could be.
I don't want it to be 4 dragons sailing off into the sunset. I'll be
that's
so
what
mad.
I'm thinking.
I'll be so mad if that's all we get.
Yeah, the reveal, or it'll be the mounting of the rest of the dragons. Like Ulf will get his moment, and then Hugh Hammer will get on his, and then maybe at the very end, Rhaena gets on Sheep Stealer, and then that's. The dragon's running into
I want
that's
that.
all you. I'm gonna get
that's
negative
what I want,
2.
like what he said earlier.
-2.
The freeze frame at the end, high five.
High five off into the sunset. Yeah.
80s music.
Wait, when did you say that?
I said that. Yeah, a couple.
The final thing is gonna be all 4 dragons.
Yeah, no, they'll be high five. No,
How
the riders will be high fiving. Well, dragons can fly up
It'll
and
be
down
a
for a
cool
short period of
scene.
time.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, and then it's like that. It's like something from the 80s.
Saturday morning cartoon. Cool.
Yeah, we did it.
All right. Other than Dragon, what do you think? How do you think they're about to end it? And do you agree with it? Do you highly disagree with this? It's like these idiots don't know anything. Why do they not like character development? Leave that comment down below. And
go ahead.
Yeah, we like character development.
Yeah, when you're actually doing it right.
Okay, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.